And I like the fact that you said, because you see, most of us think, oh well, I mean, I have a bottle, so that means I don't go out as often. And because you see, when you're alone, you tend to drink. This is what people think. You tend to drink less as compared to when you are in a group of people in company. Probably have a conversation, like you said. People will always, let's say, every Friday meet up and just, bond, let's say, with their friends and even family, and of course partake in alcohol. So this person who has a bottle at home would think, oh well, but I do not take as much as these other guys
Yeah.
who go out. So we tend to think that these others are alcoholics, but me, I'm not. I'm not an alcoholic, and yet you have a bottle in your house. So like you said, you're still an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But all right. So then can we talk about then the different types and different levels of the same?
Uh, to make it easier for our lovely audience,
All right.
let's just define it to you're either alcoholic or
Or
non-alcoholic.
non-alcoholic. There's no in between.
Even the drinks you're taking right now, they are rated either
Alcohol
alcoholic
or
or
not.
non-alcoholic.
Okay, okay.
So anyway, an alcoholic is someone who partakes in alcohol, right? So you must make the definition a bit clearer, right?
Yeah.
So even for doctors, when you are seeing patients, we have to ask them, do you drink, do you smoke, right? Those are the two major questions you must ask
All
each
right.
and every patient we meet.
Okay.
Now, moving forward, for example, if you smoke, we ask you how many packets you
Do you
smoke
smoke in a
in
day?
a year.
A year, not a day.
Yeah, so we classify it into
That's per
pack
year.
years,
Okay.
right? For alcohol, we ask them how many,
Bottles
per day,
per day.
per
All right.
week, so you calculate also for them,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
It's easier for cigarettes, but it's kind of tougher for alcohol, Yeah, because you can have a chain smoker,
Yeah.
but for an alcoholic, we have those different types of alcoholics. They are not even well defined in WHO or anywhere, because now you have a guy who will only drink once every 5 years. When I come back to Kenya, I've been studying in the UK. I only
Yeah.
come here to drink
And then go
all
back.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just an alcoholic.
All
But
right.
now when a guy becomes a periodic alcoholic, is someone who drinks habitually, right?
Okay.
Then we start having alcoholism, right? Now, the amount of alcohol, the frequency of alcohol intake, and also the variety of alcohol gives us most of the definitions we
Okay.
need, right?
Okay. Okay.
So if you're a Guinness guy, me, I don't take anything but Guinness. So
Okay.
you hear people saying that
The beard.
I don't do anything, I don't do
Okay.
vodka, I just do rum.
All right.
Yeah, so that is a habitual drinker, but he has also defined his
Poison.
poison.
What people say.
Let's
Okay.
not call it poison.
Yes, people actually say poison. So yeah.
Yeah, so you'll go to Shags, you'll find there's a guy who cannot even afford these things you're talking about. He's a Busa drinker, right? Or Muratina, you
Yeah.
know, all these things. So it's also defined by culture. So whatever you drink and how much you drink it is also defined a lot by sometimes culture, social economic state, the state of the economy, I don't know, the
Okay.
state of your mind, mentally. You could be going under some depression, you've lost your job, you've lost a kid. Some people are having cancer, terminal diseases. People want to drink to forget, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, there is a group of people you call binge drinkers, which we want to be clear.
Yes.
Binge drinking, we talk about guys who are taking at least 5 different types of alcohol.
Okay.
Is a binge drinker.
Is that a one time or
It's not one time.
like in one sitting?
Yes, you binge drunk. Yes.
Okay.
So maybe you binge drunk once.
Okay.
You went to a party, you're given tequila,
Yes.
beer,
Yeah.
you're given vodka,
Whiskey.
rum,
Yes.
everything, muratina. You guys are a
Yes.
binge drinker, yeah?
Okay,
Let's
okay.
be honest, that's a
Okay.
binge drinker.
All right.
But it's hard to say that a binge drinker he can be doing that every time. He's also, I think, very expensive, yeah? So he falls under still alcoholism, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
binge drinking is usually classified as 5 types of alcohol, right?
Okay.
But the rest of us drinking a lot of frequency drinking, we are all alcoholics, right?
Okay. Okay.
Remember, you might be going home, you pop into a place, you just have one beer, then you go home. Tomorrow, another one beer.
Another one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just one beer for the stomach's sake, like the
Yeah.
Bible says, yeah? Maybe you're just
Yeah.
a periodic drinker, but you're not binge drinking, right?
Okay.
You get?
Okay. Okay.
So binge drinking tends to be within a certain period you've taken a huge amount of alcohol, right?
Okay.
And in varieties, yeah?
In variety, not just one.
Yeah.
I think most of us actually thought, and I think we were having this discussion even before we came on air, where, you know, that aspect of binge drinking, people will be like, oh yeah, probably I just take it like once every week. So I consider myself a binge drinker, but like you said, that's not
Yeah,
the
you know, you
case.
can even find your uncle can take a whole crate of Tusker, you know.
True. That is so true. That
Yeah?
is so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he's just an alcoholic, you know.
Okay.
But if he takes that with a Guinness or Heineken and what, and hey, he becomes now a binge drinker, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right?
And you see that tends to happen a lot, especially now, again, during the holiday season, where you just find people, I mean, this one comes with their thing, this other one comes with their thing, the other person comes with their thing, and then they all sit together, or probably even order like different types, brands, and then just sit together and drink. So
Or it's
then
your
they are
birthday and
binge
everyone
drinkers.
buys you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So then they're binge drinkers.
That's binge drinking.
That's binge drinking.
Yeah.
And so then, just to make it, isn't that harmful though? Like, in terms of compared to, let's say, a periodic drinker or social drinker, isn't that harmful? Because you're taking too many things, different types, all at once. Isn't that too dangerous?
Let's take into account chronic alcoholism and,
Yeah.
and just social or acute drinking. Most of the issues with alcohol tend to happen due to chronicity of drinking, right? And huge amounts. And then there's a guy who occasionally will black out after taking 5 shots.
Yes.
I mean, the best thing he can do is black out,
Yeah.
right? Wake up and he's like, I know one day has passed. So he'll have some memory loss.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So when you take into account the effects of alcohol to the body, you must take into account the effects of alcohol to the society,
As well, yeah.
yeah, and family, right? So those are 3 aspects we usually take into account, right?
Yeah.
When you're diagnosing alcoholism, you'll find that no one focuses much to do with which drink you are taking.
Okay.
It is the effect to your surrounding
To your
people,
surrounding, yeah.
to your family, and to your body, right? We have a very lovely organ called the liver. Now, this liver is a very tough organ. I think it's one of the toughest organs. Yeah, not the heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
the liver.
The liver.
So
It
the
endures
liver,
a lot.
the liver is, I think, one of the few organs you can even chop. You remain with a third of it,
Oh, yeah,
and it
and it
still
should still
works.
function, yeah.
Unlike a kidney or the heart, but the liver really works hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the average function of the liver, it actually metabolizes alcohol 1 ounce within 1 hour. You're not talking about, 1 ounce is not,
It's
not
bad.
big,
It's not
it's
big,
small,
yeah.
yeah? So in a 24-hour period, it can only do maybe 1 ounce per hour, right? But remember, each alcoholic drink has certain number of ounces of alcohol it has and a percentage. So
Yeah.
that also matters, right? Now, when your liver is overwhelmed with too much of the alcohol you're giving it, what happens? You form byproducts of alcohol, right?
Okay.
Alcohol is technically ethanol, right? So the byproducts are even what the cops will use to to detect. Yeah.
Yes.
If you're driving, for example, and your blood alcohol limit is 0.3, 0.5, they technically say you are not able to operate machinery. So it should be 0.3, 0.29. I don't know.
And then downwards,
People
yeah.
like being, but to
Coy
me,
about
I
that
think
thing,
it's a bit
yeah.
political, right?
Okay. Okay.
0.29 and below should be able to drive a personal car.
Okay.
But a PSV should be 0, right? Yeah. So you can see, also it's dependent on certain factors. Are you able to, did you take some meals before, are you highly tolerant to alcohol?
Alcohol or not. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, so those are so many things about
yeah,
alcoholism.
and we'll talk about then the diagnosis in just a while, and of course the effects on the same, the consequences and the consequences and the risks as well. So focused on the binge drinker and the periodic drinker, and then there's like the functioning type of an alcoholic.
That is an ambiguous term again. That one is just given by people to
Okay,
themselves, right?
all right, okay.
Like
But-
I said,
yeah,
we have 2 accepted criteria
yeah,
for diagnosing alcoholism. First, it's bringing a problem to your body,
your body,
society, or
yes.
your family.
all right.
Let me give a classic example of each. To your family, you're not able to perform, you're missing, work, you're not taking care of your kids, you're not taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
you're vomiting on yourself. I mean, Sometimes you can even vomit and choke on your own vomit.
yeah.
You can even die. So to yourself, it's damaging acutely. Then chronically, you can have the cirrhosis. You can have deficiency because you're not eating well.
Oh, yeah.
You can have muscle wasting. You can have issues with, technically you might have memory issues because you don't remember what you did when, yeah. Socially, you drink, of course, you're up on the table, you're dancing out, crazy, and people are like, hey, this is our CEO, man, yeah, this is a company party, oh, what are you doing? I mean, the CEO is watching, yeah. Then that social can also affect sometimes when you're in a family, there's brawls, there are fights, yeah. Then you drive your car, you crash it, you can even take out a whole family. So that's the social aspect that is really, yeah.
Okay.
So for the family, you can be with your family. Maybe you tend to be more aggressive towards your spouse, or you're not able to handle issues and all that, right? So those three aspects are even if you go to the States where those three aspects are key, right?
Yeah.
Right? So it forms part of what they call the cage criteria, whereby a doctor sits face to face with an alcoholic and determines whether he has alcoholism, right?
Okay.
And then there is a test they have to do. It's like a pencil paper test. It's called an audit test, right? So all those letters define a certain criteria they are looking for.
Okay.
Then they score you, right? But first, the alcoholic has to actually come to say they have a problem. Because everyone is in denial, right?
Exactly.